and welcome back, my fairies. I am Matsurific, and we are back with episode 12 of Pokemon Horizons. So, today's episode picks up where the last episode did, as per usual. And we get to see what happens at the end of their time in the forest. So, basically, the first half of the episode tells one story, and the second half tells another. We see Liko and Roy, they're being let down by the Arbolivia, who has just shown them that, the damage to the forest was a lot bigger than what they thought there was. And that's when Liko decides that she wants to try and help heal the forest. So, she decides that her plan is to gather a whole bunch of berries and have Roy and Fuecoco till the land, so that they can plant all of the berries that she, Sprigatito, Molly, and Chansey are able to collect together. So they get all the berries together and they plant everything, and that gets Arbolivia extra excited as well. But even though they've planted everything, there's still the issue of water. So they finally managed to get a hold of Freed, who went out to try to figure out what exactly was going on with the signal, because Dot realized that, hey, there's the internet is like really bad, so something's going on that's causing the signal to be weak, and that's why they can't get through to everybody. So he goes out to figure out what's going on, and he spots a magnetite. And at first it's like, oh, well, it's just a magnetite. Honestly, I did kind of have a feeling that this was going to be more than just some wild magnemite, that was causing trouble. But for now, yeah, so he gets Cat and Pikachu to scare off the Magnemite, and then that finally allows the signals to start going through, so Liko's able to get a hold of Freed, and tells him that, hey, we're trying to heal the forest, but we need water. So Freed goes back to the ship and gets the elder guy, I can't remember his name, who has a Jotonian Quagsire, and they are able to use Rain Dance, which also invigorates Arbolivia, who is then able to use her ability, Seed Shower, to help the forest grow even more. And so basically, yep, the forest is saved thanks to their team effort. So yeah, that helps everything to start growing a little bit faster. And that's when they realize, oh, Arbolivia has really been taking care of the forest and basically watches over the forest. But then Arbolivia decides to drop its ancient Pokeball, which reacts with Liko's pendant, and we get to see the legendary from the upcoming Scarlet and Violet DLC, or rather its pre-evolution. I don't think we have a name for it yet. Terapagos is the evolution, but pretty much everyone agrees that this is some sort of pre-evolution for Terapagos. But anyways, it appears and shows Liko and Roy a vision of who they believe to, or at least I don't know if they necessarily say this in the episode, but I'm theorizing that this is actually the ancient adventurer. He tells them to find the world's something, but then it fades out before he can finish his sentence, but he wants them to find something. And I think the book actually, that they look at later on, actually tells us what it is. But for now, after the vision ends, Arbolivia returns to the ancient Pokeball, and they can't get it out to save their lives. So, but Freed says that it appears that Arbolivia has chosen them, and so I guess it means that it sees them as being worthy. And they head back to the ship, and then Freed heads off to the library to try to figure out more. But we also get a glimpse of Spinel, who has been watching them. But we get more about that at the end of the episode. So Fried goes to the library, and he runs into Liko's mom, who comes to meet them there, and they talk a little bit as well. They talk about the ancient Pokeballs and also Liko's pendant as well. And at the same time, we get Liko and Roy, who are looking at the picture books that Liko's dad gave her to give to Roy, and one of them is a book that Roy himself has already read, and which is what inspired him to want to adventure in the first place and to hold on to the first ancient Pokeball, the one that had Rayquaza in it. And this book, I think, honestly has the clue for, like, I think it honestly tells us what they're supposed to seek out. Because the book says that they're supposed to seek out that the ancient adventurer was seeking a luxurious, beautiful, and gleaming paradise. So I think that that's actually what they're supposed to be searching for, is that paradise that he managed to find. So, I mean, it's obviously, that's just theorizing at this point, but I do think that might be actually what they're leading it to, because it's actually referred to, like, he is actually known as the ancient adventurer after that. And Liko's dad tells them that, oh, it's just fiction, it's all made up based on the stories that your grandmother would tell. But Roy says what I was thinking, that, it's the story had to have come from somewhere. And it's like, yeah, because it came from Liko's grandmother, who obviously had to hear that story from somewhere. But then we get back to Fried and Liko's mom, who are also talking about the story. And they also come up with the same theory as Roy, that Arboliva and Rayquaza were the 6 heroes, or the Pokemon that teamed up with the ancient adventurer. And Fried asks Liko's mom if she's going to go and see Liko. And she's like, well, if I did see her, then, I know that the mom and me would come out wanting to, take the pendant from her and everything. But, as a teacher, I also understand that, she's kind of got to make this decision on her own. So she decides to let Liko make the decision, and which she then entrusts Fried to passing that on and letting Liko know. And that's also when the Squawkabilly that's with Liko's mom talks about Galar Old Castle. So an old castle in Galar, which I'm thinking might actually be in Motostoke. Because if you recall, in Motostoke, it's the town where you battle the Fire-type gym leader, and it's basic, or no, not the Fire-type gym leader. Yeah, Motostoke is the starting area where you do the it's not really the starter town, because the starter town is a few towns away. But after you exit the wild area, you get to Motostoke. It's where you battle the last gym leader, Raihan, and that building is an old castle. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be heading to Motostoke next. That makes a lot of sense, because it's a castle in the Galar region. Which has me wondering, maybe we'll run into Penny? We got to see Nemona recently, so hey, maybe we'll see Penny while she's doing her 1.5 years abroad. But yeah, we'll see. Who knows? So they talk about everything that they learned from, the book, from Liko's mom and dad, and Liko says that she wants to talk to her grandmother to learn more about the pendant. And Roy's like, yeah, I want to do that too. I want to meet your grandma, find out what she's like, and maybe learn more about the Black Rayquaza. And that's when Fried is like, oh yeah, and I know exactly where to find her, because she sent a Squawkabilly to tell me castle in the Galar region. So now we have our destination set. We might end up there next episode, or we could have a filler episode. Last time I said we're probably gonna have a filler episode was when they were on their way to Artisan, and sure enough, there was no filler episode, and we just went straight to Artisan. So, hey, we might get a filler episode next episode, or we might get straight to Motostoke. I mean, considering how far away it should be, I would hope that we would at least get at least 1 or 2 filler episodes. But we do get one other scene at the end with Spinel watching them through a Behem. And we also see later at the end that he has a Magneton as well. So that could actually be the same Magneton that Freed dealt with that was interrupting the signal. And that would make a lot of sense if he was trying to, you know, either test that out, or he also could have been like, okay, well, prevent them from being able to contact the ship so that I can go and attack them when they're vulnerable. But obviously, you know, if that was the plan, Freed interrupted it. If not, then, well, it was a good test for what could possibly happen in the future. But he has been watching them and studying their battle prowess, their moves, and all that stuff. So it does look like he's going to be a pretty formidable enemy. But yeah, we might see him next episode. We'll see. He kind of seems more like a hide in the shadows type of enemy. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll just have to wait and see. So, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos from me. We do all sorts of fun stuff on this channel, including playing video games, we do art, and I'll sometimes talk about cartoons and anime. So if you enjoy this stuff, then be sure to ring that bell icon and never miss a video. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I hope you all have a very magical day.